Welcome everybody, welcome back to the Reconnection space. This is the space we come to talk about all things reconnection. Reconnection with ourselves, reconnection with the world around us, reconnection with relationships. And I have lovely, lovely guests as usual, but I must just first say, you'll notice the background is a bit different. It's a beautiful, beautiful, bright, sunny autumn day here in the UK where I live. And it's too bright. The therapy room has this gorgeous window behind, and it's too bright to actually record. So I'm in the dining room, which is why you've got a little bit of a different view there. But I'm here with the gorgeous Roxanne Bergman. Hey, Roxanne.
Hey, I'm also in my dining room.
That's lovely. I like that. We're going for the homely feel today,
yes.
Right?
We definitely are.
We definitely are, yeah. And Roxanne is an amazing photographer and has very recently had me and a number of other wonderful women involved in a great exhibition about local business women. So Roxanne's going to tell you a bit more about that. But Roxanne, you have also agreed, of course, to share with our viewers a reconnection moment from your amazing life. But firstly, I will stop talking. Tell everybody a bit about who you are and what you do.
That reminded me of Blind Date, that moment. Who you are and where you come from.
Where you come from.
Right, so I am a portrait and wedding photographer. I do probably more portraits than I do weddings. And I specialise in taking photos outdoors in nature because I'm a bit of a hippie and that's just how I wanted to do things.
Nice.
Last year I had the idea to do a exhibition, or to be honest, it was just an idea to photograph other business owners, other female business owners that I knew, because the nature of my business, I just knew a lot of other female business owners. And initially I just thought, oh, I'll photograph them and I'll do a blog post on all of them, but it just grew and then it became an exhibition. So I named it the Bronze Mirror, which is the wording for the female symbol. And we had it on the Friday the 13th of July, which I thought was a good omen, and it was, because it went really well.
Yeah.
And it was me and 15 other women, so 16 women in total, all came together and everyone had their picture on the wall and everyone was featured in a little magazine. And it's been amazing. I met you through
it. That's how we met.
Many people through this exhibition. It turned into exactly what I wanted it to do.
Oh, that's brilliant. And it was such a fabulous night and it was so surreal to see myself, on the wall in this portrait.
Everyone said that.
I know, being featured as a businesswoman in the local area, and the beautiful booklet that you produced is still very proudly in my possession. I think I will.
Oh, good. That was Bhavini Lakhani who did the graphic design for that. Like I just was like, I want it to be a magazine. And then she just made it into exactly what it is. Like,
if I can just describe it for viewers, it's not a magazine, okay? This is like one of those beautiful, when you go to the theatre and you get a programme, this beautiful kind of thick paper that you get. And it's absolutely gorgeous. So that's what you spend your day doing. And I love the whole kind of outdoors. I love looking at all the pictures that you put up. And just such a lovely way about your photographs. But you are willing to share with us, and I don't know what your reconnection moment is actually, although we've spoken a few times. It's always been about me, strangely enough.
I was interviewing you.
I know, but now it's the tables have turned. So
yes.
What is it you'd like to share with our viewers?
So I had a little think when you said about a reconnection moment, and then it just came to me like all of a sudden last night, and I was like, how did that not occur to me before? So the reconnection moment for me was, I've been doing photography for years and years, and I was working in schools alongside that to supplement my income, and that worked really, really well because it got me used to being around kids, and I was off during the summer, for weddings, and I was off during Christmas for photo shoots and stuff like that. But it was never enough for me to take it to being full-time.
Yeah.
And that is what I wanted. I wanted to be a full-time photographer, and that's what I now am. So around Christmas of 2015, I was just feeling sort of a couple of years prior to this as well, I'd just been feeling very disconnected from photography. I was really frustrated and I wasn't getting the kind of clients that I wanted. I never seemed to be able to make the money I wanted out of it. And I never really knew like my niche kind of thing. I never knew exactly where I wanted to go with photography. And my whole brain, I think if you could just like look inside my brain, it was just a complete mess the entire time. And I think often when you're a business owner, you're really impatient as well. You know you want to be successful and you know you want to be full-time doing what you do, and you know you've got this passion, but you have no idea how to like bear it into creation. And you just spend the entire time watching like millions of different YouTube channels, millions of different YouTube videos, and like looking at loads of Instagram and looking at loads of Pinterest, and after a while it just blocks out your own thoughts. And you just,
everybody's doing so well, and everybody apparently is so successful, making so much money so quickly, and you're like, what am I doing wrong?
How is that possible?
Exactly.
So Christmas 2015, my husband went out for a night out with his friends, and I thought to myself, oh, you know, watch a film. But then all of a sudden, like a bolt from the blue, I thought to myself, no, don't watch a film. Get onto YouTube, as I call it, YouTube University. Like, if you want to know anything, it's on YouTube. And like, watch some videos about like photography business tutorials, like how to do some stuff. And I did that, and I stumbled across a video with a woman in it called Jasmine Star. She's a really, really famous wedding photographer in America. And then from that, I found a website called Creative Live. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a website where if you check it out, it's a really, really good website. So it's like every single thing creative really that you could imagine taught to you by the people at the top of their game kind of thing. So for me, it's photography. They do art classes, they do graphic design classes, they do most creative things, they do writing, that kind of thing. And they teach you how to do that stuff, but they also teach you how to run a business, and they teach you about money, all that kind of stuff. So I found that this woman, Jasmine Star, was selling a course called How to Restart Your Photography Business in 3 months, which is called Restart. And it restarted my photography business in 3 months. Like, it did exactly what it said on the tin.
So it really did that.
It really did that.
Right, okay.
It really, really did that. And it's about 30 classes, and it kind of taught me basically everything. So I already knew how to take photos, but it taught you how to figure out what you wanted to photograph, how you wanted to photograph. It taught you about pricing, about money, about how to have conversations with clients, all of that kind of stuff. A lot of which I'd already been doing, but it totally helped you refine like every single thing that you needed to do. And she also taught you that basically if you're not getting the kind of clients you want, it's your fault, which sounds harsh, but it is, because you're putting something out that those people are resonating with. And if you're not putting out your true self, and you're just putting out this like quote unquote professional image of what you think people want, that's not you. So you're never going to attract the people that you actually resonate with. And I want to photograph the people who like to be out in nature with me, and, you know, throwing leaves around and tree hugging and all that stuff. And those people exist. Like,
they
those
do.
people legitimately exist. You are one of them. You know, like, yeah. So many people like that stuff as well, but it felt completely impossible to find those people before. And I remember Carl went out for his night out, and by the time he came home, I was like something amazing has happened. And from that moment, I felt completely reconnected to photography and to my business, and I had like a clear plan, because prior to that, I had actually said to Carl, I think that I'm just gonna actually jack this in, because this is stressing me so much that I can't get to where I want to be. And I remember Carl saying to me, you can do that, you can put down your camera, and you can never take another photograph for the rest of your life, but you'll still always be a photographer, so you might as well just get a grip and get on with it.
Yeah, and I think you would have just gone from one frustration to another frustration.
Yes.
So you wouldn't have solved what you were trying to solve. But, you know, we've all been there. We've all been there where you know kind of how it should be, and how do I get there? But isn't that wonderful when
that bit in the middle?
That bit in the middle is really tough. You know, totally empathise. I have so often, the first year was great. Everyone, you've done the first year of business. The second year, I spent so many times going, yes, but now I'm in year 2 and it should be this and it should be that. I think
There's a lot of should, isn't there? So much should.
A lot of should. And I'm the one saying to clients, you know, there's no such word as should. You know, should is a nonsense word. It makes no sense. But it's all going on when you're trying to drive that. So describe to us, you said that, you know, hubby came home and you were like, oh, something amazing's happened. Can you describe that feeling of knowing, really knowing that you had connected with something that was going to move you forward?
Yeah, for me, I just felt calm for the first time in ages. I didn't feel like an impatient, frenzied, like crazy person, which is what I had been feeling like. I always felt like really, I don't drink coffee, but I always felt vibraty, like how people feel when they drink coffee. I always felt like that. I was super impatient. I was really, really stressed out. And I was always, as I said to you, just watching like millions of videos and looking at, like, I was overwhelmed with like content that I was seeing. There was just so many photographs I was always seeing that other people were taking. But once I discovered this course, I was just, part of it was in the course, you know, like, stop looking at what other people are doing. But also I just naturally did, because one, I didn't have time anymore because I was actually doing stuff.
Doing your business,
Yes, focusing on my business and actually growing that and learning how, learning how to have a business and grow it. But also I just felt like so calm, and I was like, I know exactly what to do next. So I worked my way obviously through the classes, but once those classes were done, I knew what to do next in real life because I just applied it. So yeah, for the first time in ages, I wasn't like vibrating around like a maniac anymore.
And I think that what you've described there you don't just have to be in business, because many of our viewers are not in the business world. But one of the topics that comes up a lot in these conversations with people is the comparisonitis and the looking at what everyone else is doing. And I think so many people, whether you're in business or not nowadays, we are bombarded, aren't we, with these images on a daily basis, where you should be, what you should be doing with your life, even down to, you know, how you should look, how you should live your life, how you should bring your kids up, how you should do all of this. And one of the healthiest things is to do that group cull on social media and say, thanks very much, but
spin all of that off.
I'm not looking at that, and I'm not looking at this, because I'm just doing what now I feel is a good thing to do. Well, we love what you're doing, and I'm very excited about, it's a little bit self-absorbed, but it's all about me. I'm very excited about hanging my portrait in my office.
Yes.
That's really exciting. So my last question to everybody that I speak to here on the Reconnection Space is, for you, in summary, reconnection means what?
For me, reconnection definitely means like that feeling of quiet calm. For me, it was everything coming together at once. And I definitely think you need to have, you know, synchronicity in your life. And everything synced at the same time, so it didn't just affect my, you know, professional life, it affected my personal life. Everything seemed to become more calm, everything seemed to become more organized. I just definitely think, for me, reconnection is like the planets aligning, and then the more you start saying yes to things, the more things start saying yes to you.
Lovely. I love that. Synchronicity. That's a great word. So how can people get in touch with you, Roxanne? Where can they find you? What's the best way?
Most people find me via Facebook. That seems to be the way that most people find me. So it's Roxpix Photography, ROXPIX Photography. And I also have a website, www.roxpixphotography.com. I'm on Instagram as Roxpix Photography, and I'm on Pinterest as Roxpix Photography. I'm basically everywhere as Roxpix Photography.
So if you didn't get those, you'll see in the social media posts that we'll be posting links of how you can get in touch with the fabulous Roxanne and enjoy her work, and potentially look to get some fabulous photographs taken.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining us here in the Reconnection Space.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I love the fact we're both in our dining rooms.
Yeah.
It's Great. If you have really loved watching this episode of the Reconnection Space, then click like, but don't forget to also click the all-important subscribe button, which means that you will get notified and you will never miss an episode of the Reconnection Space. We have got a host of new guests coming up, and I'm also going to be starting to post videos myself about the up-and-coming book that I'm doing, Reconnect Your Life, with lots and hints and tips to help you get reconnected. So we wish you a healthy and mindful rest of the week, and we look forward to seeing you again next week here in the Reconnection Space. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Roxanne.
Bye.